Good morning. This is November the 17th, Sunday 2024. We are in BBA first semester compulsory English class, where last time we were reading the essay, School is Bad for Children. And at the end of the class, I had assigned you to write, how does John Holt criticize education, formal education? And I said, you read from paragraph 1 through 7 and write, how does he criticize? This morning, one of you, that girl over there, she said, Divakar sir, are you moving to a new chapter? I said, yes. Then I asked her why. She said, you haven't explained the last part of that essay. So let me tell you, my expectation was that I will not teach the last part of the essay and you will read on your own. But she said that she expected the teacher to explain as I've been doing. Okay, I'll do that. But understand that if I explain like this, lessons, I'll be very slow. And if I'm slow, I won't be able to teach all the lessons this way. And I'll skip certain essays, and the essays I skip, you will prepare and present. So those essays which I'm not teaching, you will prepare and present. So maybe let's say 50-60% I'll teach in the course, 50-40% you will prepare on your own. Now, how will you prepare on your own? You will read the essays. If necessary, you will meet me and ask questions to understand fully. There are videos on my channel. You can watch them. You can ask me to provide you transcriptions of the other class where I explain the essay. If you read the transcriptions of the other class, you will clearly understand the essay and take support from me, but you will prepare the essays on your own without my support or without my classroom teaching. So let's move ahead. In the previous class, I was in para 4, where we were reading that the school teaches so many other things, right? And among these other things, quickly to remind you what we were discussing in previous class, the child learns that to be wrong, to be uncertain, to be confused is a crime. Right? The child learns that the school or teacher wants correct answers, not incorrect answers. So what the child does, the child always thinks that only the answers that the teacher gives is correct. So the child always listens to the teacher and thinks what the teacher says is correct, what I think is or may not be correct. Right? So the school teaches that the teacher knows everything and the child does not know anything. So gradually over the time, the child becomes passive because he is listening and listening and listening to the teacher and doing nothing in the class. As a result, he starts to sleep in the class, he starts to bluff about the lesson, he starts to fake answers, he starts to cheat. Right? He learns to be lazy over time because the teacher does not make him read, the teacher does not make him speak, the teacher does not make him write, the teacher does not make him listen. Right? Then, now, the child was not like that before he came to school. How was the child before he came to school? Before he came to school, he used to work for hours on end on his own without any instruction. But in school, the child learns that do not do anything unless sir says. Before coming to school, he did things for his own learning, right? See the problem. Then, now in the school, child learns that if there is no reward, don't do anything. But before coming to school, the child did so many things for no reward at all, just for the pleasure of learning, right? Then at home, the child tried to understand the world. Look, ask me a question, Divakar sir, what is the ultimate purpose of education? Here you have the answer, the best answer. The ultimate purpose of any education, whether it is class 1 or PhD, the ultimate purpose of education is making sense of the world and gaining competence in it. This is the ultimate purpose of education. All education in any subject, whether PhD or MPhil, MA, MSc, any degree, that should make you able to understand the world in a better way, right? But the school doesn't make this thing because the school does not allow the child to be active, right? Now, in school, what does he learn? He learns to cheat. He learns not to do any task if nobody is watching them, right? He learns not to work when the sergeant is not looking. If the teacher turns this side, you take out a mobile phone. If I turn this side, you start messaging. If I turn this side, you talk. Because you learn that if I look at you, you should pay attention. If I don't look at you, you shouldn't pay attention. This is wrong, absolutely wrong, right? How to know when he's looking. How to make him think you are working even when. I told you last time in my mathematics class what I would do. I would open the book and cover my face to cheat my teacher and make him feel that I'm reading. But actually, I was not reading, right? How to make him think you are working even when he is not looking. He learns that in real life you don't do anything unless you are bribed. Look here, how bad. The school teaches that you do not do anything unless you are forced, right? If I say you will get internal marks, 10 marks for this question, you write. If I say you won't get any marks, you don't write. Look what is happening. You think that you should do everything for marks. That's wrong. You should do things for learning, right? Then you do only when you are bullied or conned into doing it, that nothing is worth doing for its own. See this. See this. Many things are worth doing. See, what do you learn? Nothing is worth doing for its own sake. No, in life we do many things for its own sake, for learning, for pleasure. Then, or that if it is, you can't do it in school. Go to administration, inform, so will give you a slip and I'll let you in.
Sir, I was in the administration room, sir.
Bring a slip. I'll let you in. You all people, I'll let you in. Bring a slip. Where she writes, let them in and I'll let you in. Or that if it is, you can't do it. What does school teaches? You can't do anything, right? He learns to be bored finally, to work with a small part of his mind, no interest in learning, to escape from reality around him into daydream fantasies. When I came to class, there were 4 girls, this girl, I don't know the next girl, 4 girls. And I was watching them very carefully, What drew my attention was, these 4 girls were with a mobile phone. And without saying anything to them, I carefully watched them. What I was paying attention to was, do they talk among themselves or not? And I found that they were not talking among themselves. They were viewing things on the mobile phone. And I got worried. What made me worried? I imagined, what if this class was 20 years before when mobiles were not invented? Then what would the 4 girls do? They'll sit in a round circle and they'll be busy chatting. That is what you should be doing. So what is mobile teaching? The mobile is teaching, do not talk to anybody. The mobile is teaching yourself to shut down yourself. And this is very dangerous. This is really dangerous. I give example of mobile from this class. My simple point is, even the school is doing the same thing. The school is teaching you not to be active, not to speak, not to talk, not to participate, not to interact, not to question. When you ask me a question, I get angry. and I say, you know more than me. And you think, oh, I should not ask question. This is bad. If John Holt was writing if mobile was invented by that time, maybe he would also add one paragraph about mobile and learning, right? So this is what we were reading in our previous class. But not like the fantasies of his look here. Look. The child daydreams and he has fantasies, right? But not like the fantasies of his preschool years. What does it mean? This means imagination. How do we learn? How do we grow? We grow by promoting imagination, by being imaginative. Two things, imagination and curiosity. Imagination and curiosity. What is curiosity? Curiosity is simply an excitement upon seeing something, meeting somebody, where you are interested in knowing more about them. That is what curiosity is. Yes, I am letting you in only first and last time. Next time, I won't let you in even with the sleep, okay? If your boss is late, I'll let you in. But they should inform me that the boss was late, okay? Come in. Look, my class got disrupted. Mind the wire as you walk in. Mind the wire as you walk in. Okay. So this is what we were reading in the previous class, and I said that imagination is important for learning, curiosity is important for learning, inquisitiveness is important for learning. What is inquisitiveness? Inquisitiveness means the habit of making inquiry, asking questions, exploring. When you see something, did you mark? They have come to ask for the attendance sheet. Have you done?
I'm doing.
Doing? Okay. Couple of things I'll repeat. Wait a minute. Couple of things like be imaginative. First. Second, be curious. Third, be inquisitive. Fourth, explore. Imagine. Imagine crazy things. Thomas Alva Edison, the prince of inventions. Read about his biography. Read about how he invented so many things. All scientists are highly imaginative people. It was Einstein, I guess, once said that for the development of science, imagination is more important than truth. Be imaginative. Second, be curious. Have you seen children? They explore everything. You leave them alone in the kitchen, they will open all the racks and drawers. And they will pull out everything and throw on the ground. They'll make a mess. They're exploring. They're curious. Be inquisitive. Take a child to market with you. What will you see? The child sees new things. And immediately the child will start poking you and asking you, Didi, what is that? You say, that's a mango. Next question might be, why that is a mango? Now you can't answer that question. That's a big question, philosophical question. Why that is a mango? What color is that? Yellow. They might ask, why that is yellow? Now you explain spectrum of the sun's rays. Rainbow, all 7 colors. Chemistry, physics. Look, children ask unimaginably big questions, unknowingly, innocently. As we grow, we stop asking questions. And their mobile phones, they are making you even dumber. Why do you call them a smartphone? Your phone is called a smartphone because the phone can make you dumb. The phone is smart in making you dumb. So be careful how much you use your phone. I'm really pretty worried. I'm 56, I'll retire soon, I'll die soon. Yeah, new generation. But I'm really worried that mobiles are killing this generation. I went to village last time and I saw 10 children aged 5-6 years old in one angan, around one mobile sleeping in the ground and watching something. Right? I don't mean everything is bad on mobile. I mean you must know how to use mobile in a positive way to enhance your life. It should not destroy your life. Okay, move ahead now. 5. As she said, I'll go on line by line. The child comes to school curious. Look, before coming to school, the child is curious, as I said, about other people. Now in school, if she talks to her, I will come running and I'll say, you're disturbing my class, walk out. Last time in the other class, I was teaching and 2 people were talking down there. I went down. I said, please walk out. I expelled. But I wonder now, I reflect. Maybe he was saying something important. So what does the school do? What do teachers do? They say, don't talk. And understand, talking is a way of connecting. Right? But we wrongly, teachers, ask you to maintain complete silence. But here I also think that sometimes paying attention, concentration is also important. But for children, we should allow children to talk. I know one mathematics teacher, sorry, I again, time and again happened to bring example of math teacher, I'm sorry for that. He was in class 4. His rule was, he would come in class and he would say, when I come in class, before I come, you should do this thing. Sit on the chair, desk, and put this hand here, put this hand here, and put this index finger here. And his rule was, for 45 minutes throughout the class, every child must keep the index finger on the lips to make sure they don't talk to the child sitting next. And he would teach the subject for 45 minutes on the whiteboard. And no child would speak. And not only that, no child would ask a question. I was puzzled. I was shocked. I asked a question. If a child is confused, how would he ask a question? That's bad. A teacher should not do that. Right? So, children want to know people. Children want to know other children. So, let them talk. Right? The school teaches him to be indifferent. When I say to her, what I'm teaching her? I'm teaching her, don't care about Kavya. That's wrong. She may learn a better lesson than my class by talking to Kavya, for example. Right? But when we teachers teach this thing, we're teaching them, don't care about other people. And later, when this child goes class 10, 11, 12, comes to college, what does she develop? She switches herself off. And she's walking to college and somebody meets an accident. There is blood flowing. She does not care about the guy. She just walks around. Why? Because over a long time, over 10 years, the school taught her not to care about other people. When you teach a child in nursery class not to talk to the person sitting next, gradually the child learns not to care about anybody. And as they grow, they learn to turn themselves off. They don't care about environment. They don't care about pollution. They don't care about corruption. They care about nothing. They become self-centered. They care only about themselves. They even stop caring about parents. This is bad. Right? The most interesting thing in the classroom, often the only interesting thing, see the criticism. See how he's criticizing. How is Holt criticizing education? He says the only interesting thing in it is the other children. His point is that our classrooms are really boring. Teachers are boring. Walls are boring. Whiteboards are boring. Technology is boring. Subject is boring. Books are boring. Teaching methods are boring. When everything is boring, the child is frustrated. So what does he do? To enjoy being in class, the child turns to another child and talks. And the teacher comes running. "Kina boleko thiye? Halla गर्ने?" Oh, sorry for that. That's how the teacher might behave. This is wrong. This is wrong. Right? See the criticism. Everything is boring in the class. The only interesting thing is another child. But he has to act as if these other children all about him, only a few feet away, are not really there. Why? Have you seen in primary school? Teachers have only one aim: control. Control. By showing the stick, punishment, fear. Even in plus 2, I see people punishing students. Why are they punishing? Control. This is not good. Too much control is not good. Right? He cannot interact with them. Why? If he interacts, the teacher complains you are making noise. Talk with them. Smile at them. I had one teacher, very good teacher, great teacher. But you know what he did? He was taking attendance, and his rule was, while taking attendance, even if he smiled, he would say, "Stand up," and he would ask me a question. Why did he smile? Now, I had to give a clarification why I smiled. And if he was not satisfied with my clarification, in grade 11, he would pick me up in his lap like a baby. And he would take me out of classroom, ground floor, and he would simply throw me in the ground. But he was a great teacher. I appreciate. Really great teacher. Though he had that weakness. But later I understood. He did not allow me to even smile because his point was, when teachers come in class, you must be 100% concentrated and attentive to what they are saying. It happened in grade 11 to me, right? With them, talk with them, smile at them. In many schools, he can't talk to other children in the halls. I know one school, a great school, I won't name on the camera. It may be viral. Even still the school is running. A very famous school. I went to join the school as a teacher 30s before, in primary school. They selected me for class 3 teacher. I didn't join the school, I left. What I found, the principal said to me, "Divakar, you are assigned to look after the ground in the recess, break time." I said, "Why does a teacher have to be in the ground in the break time?" Then the principal said, "We must keep an eye on the children even during break time." Oh God, I was mad. I thought, am I teacher or am I a spy? Am I a policeman? Have you seen many primary schools, they appoint teachers to spy behind students. What are they doing? Where are they going? Like she told last time, the story, who told? I forgot. Somebody told last time how teachers took your mobile phone, logged into your social media account and saw your conversation. Right? That's bad. So, schools do not allow you to behave freely, walk freely, even during break time. Not only that, they will call your parents and say, "Karma ki gare malai bhannu wala." Oh God. And parents threaten you. "Chak na gare, sarlai bhandinchu, misलाई bhandinchu, kutla school ma." How much control? This is bad. This is dangerous. Right? In more than a few and some of these in stylish suburbs, he is criticizing the expensive schools in cities. He can't even talk to them at lunch. Yes, I have seen schools where you go for the lunch and there is a teacher standing in the corner. They watch how you eat, how you move your forks and spoons, and they teach you, behave like this. This is not good. Too much control is not good. Too much. And why this is happening? Because formal education. Splendid training for a world in which when you are not studying the other person to figure out how to do him in, you pay no attention to him. Look, what does the school teach? See the last point? What does the school teach finally? The school trains you. The school trains you for what? Not to pay attention to people around you. And have you seen today? Today in Kathmandu, you are in New Road or any place, crowded place. Let's imagine you are thirsty, you are dehydrated, and you are physically feeling ill, and there is no one. You went to market alone, and you want to help. Let's say you sit down. Out of weakness, you sat down. Now you expect someone to come near you and ask you. I bet you lie down on the ground, nobody would come near and ask you what happened to you. People will just pass by, walk by. You do that, I do that. When I was a child, what used to happen in the market? If anything unusual happened, people attended. People attended. If somebody tripped over a stone, got wounded, somebody would hold their hands and help them. But today, once what happened, I was riding my bike home and I was in Samakusi. I was going this side, a micro came from this side. And it was around 8 o'clock in the evening. The micro had its headlights, dazzling headlights. And my eyes got dazzled. And I did not see there were 2 electricity poles by the side. And my leg guard hit one of the poles. I was in speed and I fell on the ground. My shoes spread over there. The micro ran away. I am on the ground, wounded, injured, difficult to stand up. I am sleeping. For almost 5-10 minutes, nobody came. Then one guy opens the door, the neighboring room, house, and he says, "Jaan khayeko manche hola, chhod deu," and he closes the door. Then I collect myself somehow, wake up, stretch my legs, rest for another 10 minutes. Then somehow I walk home. Nobody came to my help. Have you seen one video from Dharan? There was a bike and car accident, and the bike rider was wounded, and blood was coming out from body, and all people around, they were making videos, and this video was viral on social media. And for 30 minutes, the crowd made the video, and the guy died on the spot. In that 30 minutes, they could have taken to hospital. But they didn't take him to hospital. They made video. Why this happens? Because of this thing. Our schools are teaching us what? Do not pay attention to anybody, anything around. Look how serious criticism John Holt is making about education. What should education teach us? Education should teach us to care about others. Wrongly, our education teaches care about yourself, not others. Right? Move ahead, number 6. In fact, he learns how to live without paying attention to anything going on around him. Yesterday, I saw a video on social media. It's Tarai, it's 5 in the morning, dawn, in front of a house. A 4-year-old child is sitting by the roadside with a big mobile phone, a smartphone. There's no one. It's early morning. Nobody has woken up. A morning walking person comes. He wonders, he calls the child, "Babu, ki hai reko?" The child does not respond. The man asks 2-3 questions. The child doesn't respond. Then the man says, "Look what is happening. This child His parents have not woken up. But he woke up before parents, took a mobile phone, came out of the home to the road, and is sitting on the roadside. Any vehicle may meet with an accident here. And look, this child. Now I saw the child was not listening to anybody. He was so engrossed to the smartphone. And I have seen this thing happening in many families. Toddlers, infants, children aged 4, 5, 3. They are glued to mobile phone and they won't listen to the parents. Now that child who is glued to mobile phone at age 3, when he grows, he will be a crazy person. He will be a mad person. He is destroying his eyesight. He is destroying his bone. When you look mobile like this, your neck bone is eroded and you start having problem. Right? So what is he saying? School teaches us not to care about anybody, anything in the world. You might say that school is a long lesson in how to turn yourself off. And when I see youngsters today, young generation today, who does not care about anything, I feel like this is so true. You might say that school is a long lesson in turning yourself off, which may be one reason why so many young people seeking the awareness of the world and responsiveness to it. See, what we should do? What should education do? Education should make us aware about the world. Education should make us responsive to the world. Right? They had, when they were little, think they can only find it in drugs. And finally what happens? Such children who grow like this in school, they end up taking drugs. And in America, they end up taking. Have you seen in America what happens? 11-year-old child sneaks into father's drawer, takes his gun, goes to school and shoots all his classmates, shoots all his teachers. Have you seen this thing in newspaper? In America, children shooting classmates, you must have heard, right? This happens. Why? Because we are training the children wrong way. Aside from being boring, schools are boring. School is almost always ugly, cold, inhuman. Look the criticism. Even the most stylish glass-windowed $20 a square foot schools are ugly, cold, and inhuman. This stylish glass-windowed means expensive schools. Even expensive schools are the same. Move ahead, number 7. And so, in this dull and ugly place, school, dull and ugly place, where nobody ever says anything very truthful. Look how big charge is making. We tell lies to children. Where everybody is playing a kind of role, acting as in a charade, where the teachers are no more free to respond to honestly to the students. For example, I'm LA teacher. I might like to criticize LA. I'm on camera. If I do criticize LA, the principal might watch my video. He may be angry with me. So what I will do? I will hide the criticism. The point is, neither the teachers are free, nor the students are free. There is complete control, and we are destroying the whole generation. Look, where the air practically vibrates with suspicion, everybody doubts. Have you seen in schools? Teachers, what do they do? If they see a child in a corner, the first thing the teacher does is he starts suspecting he must be doing something wrong. We heard her story last time. Why did her teachers ask her to give her mobile phone? Why did her teachers ask her to log into the social media profile? Why did they check the conversations? Because they wrongly suspected that she is doing something wrong. If I have wrong ideas in my mind, I will think she is wrong. If I am wrong, I will think everybody around me is wrong. When teachers are wrong, they think students are wrong. When teachers do bad things, they think students do bad things. And anxiety. The child learns to live in a daze, saying his energies for those small, maybe this is not saying, maybe saving. Could somebody cross check? Is it SAVING or is it SAYING? Someone? Is it SAV? Okay, it is saving. Saving his energies for those small parts of his life that are too trivial for the adults to bother with, and thus remain his. It is a rare child who can come through his schooling with much left of his curiosity. School kills all his curiosity. School kills all his independence. School kills all sense of dignity. School kills all competence in children. School destroys all self-worth. Up to here, you saw a very strong criticism. Now, you are not supposed to accept whatever Holt is saying. You should bring your school experience to verify. Now, remember your school days and then ask yourself, did I experience such things? If you did experience, right, I agree with Holt because I had similar experience and describe your experience. If you had a different experience and you think what Holt is saying did not happen in my primary school, write your experience and then say, no, I did not experience such things in my school, so I disagree with Holt. That is called critical thinking. That is called critical thinking. We are not supposed to, please understand, though we are reading line by line, our purpose here in this classroom is not to accept whatever Holt is saying. Our purpose is to cross-check what Holt is saying. Now we have a transition in the essay. The essay moves to another subject now. So much for criticism. What do we need to do? Many things. Now the question. Up to paragraph 7, he talked about the problem. Right? Now what is the solution? Many things. Some are easy, we can do them right away. Some are hard and may take some time. Take a hard one first. We should abolish compulsory school attendance. This is really interesting. We take attendance, right? And if you are absent, we say you must be 80% present in class, otherwise you can't fill up the form. Just imagine that there is no attendance. You can come if you want. You can stay home if you don't like. Then the challenge will be the college will have to teach so nicely that you enjoy the class so much that you feel like coming. Do you see my point? Imagine we pass a rule that colleges cannot take attendance. They cannot apply this rule, 80% attendance. Then what will the problem? The college will have to teach so interestingly that when you come to class, you enjoy the class so much that you, from your bottom of the heart, you feel like coming to college. And you automatically come 100% of the days. If Sunday you miss a class, you stay home, you feel bad. For you, classroom becomes more interesting, college becomes more enjoyable than home. Then education will be successful. But have you seen, do you think any college will agree to remove attendance? I don't think. So attendance is a means for control. It's a technique to control students, right? At the very least, we should modify attendance system. How? How to modify? Perhaps by giving children every year a large number of authorized absences. I remember about 25 years back, I was teaching BBA students. It was Magh or Phagun 2, I forgot. The earthquake day, Phagun Dui, it was a Magh Dui, I forgot. Some of my girl students bunked my class. I didn't know they have bunked my class. They went to Basantapur, leaving my class. And in Basantapur, they went and then they wrote later on in the media. It was much earlier, maybe later on when we had media. They wrote, as a class bunk garera Basantapur gayo, dhere kura sikiyo. They wrote. And I saw that on my Facebook account. And I was shocked. I realized, oh God, my class was not effective. It was bad. Look, they bunked my class and they said, as a class bunk garera Basantapur gayo, dhere kura sikiyo. Meaning, college ma kehi pani sikidaina. They gave a big lesson to me. And still, after 20 years, I don't forget. Right? Our compulsory school attendance laws once served a humane and useful purpose. You know why compulsory attendance was made? Read here. They protected children's right to some schooling by making children come compulsory in school. In Victorian time in England, what used to happen? If a child stayed home, the family will take the child to farmhouse to do work in the farm. So they had to work physically, manual labor. To protect children from manual labor, school made the rule for compulsory attendance, because if a child goes to school, the parents won't be able to employ him in the work. Right? So the original purpose was to protect their right to schooling against those adults who would otherwise have denied it to them in order to exploit. See, parents may exploit their labor in farm, at store, in the mine, and in the factory. Because in the old industrial era, manpower was needed, and many parents sent children to earn money and work. Today, the laws help nobody, not the schools, not the teachers. Compulsory attendance is not benefiting anyone, not the children. To keep kids in school who would rather not be there. Look here. What's what happened, you know? I was in a school, I won't name the school, another school. One day, students of BBA or grade 11 till I forgot, they broke all the switches throughout the school building. Every switch was broken. What would they do? I don't know when they did that. They would go and they will simply box the switch and break. Why? The students were very angry at something. The argument here is, if you keep unhappy students in the school, they will always do naughty things, because they will feel they are in jail. Do you realize? When we don't like a place, we are not comfortable. Right? Look here. Read ahead. Today, okay. To keep kids in school who would rather not be there costs the school an enormous amount of time and trouble, to say nothing of what it costs to repair the damage that these angry and resentful prisoners do every time they get a chance. I remember what they used to do in +2. I remember when there is nobody in the class, we didn't have CCTV back then. They will climb on the desk and they will just bend the fan leaves. They will bend everything. They will break this projector. They will break the laptop or desktop. They will do all possible things to damage. Why? They were not happy in the school. Every teacher knows that any kid in class who, for whatever reason, would rather not be there, not only does not learn. Look here. If you are not happy, you never learn. Remember, the first condition for learning is happiness. Anybody who is sad, afraid, full of fear, or other emotions cannot learn. The fundamental requirement for learning is being happy. Being happy. anything himself, but makes it a great deal tougher for anyone else. Suppose she is not happy, so what she will do? She herself will learn nothing. Not only that, she will keep poking her, and she will disturb her, and she will not let her also learn. Do you realize? If you keep a sad child in class, if you keep a child who is not happy, he will not learn and he will disturb the whole class. As for protecting the children from exploitation, the chief and indeed only exploiters of children are these days are, oh God, how big charge is making. He says, schools exploit children. The biggest exploiters are not parents but schools. Kids caught in the college rush more often than not work 70 hours or more a week. Most of it on paper busy work. For kids who are not going to college, school is just a useless time waster, preventing them from earning some money. His argument here is, rather than going to college, wasting your time 70 hours a week, you could get a job. So look his argument. His argument is, rather than going to college, we should get a job and start earning money. You can disagree or agree. Or doing some useful work, meaning what work you do in school is useless. Or even doing some true learning, meaning the learning you do in school is false. Objections now. In argument, let me explain here, I have been telling you. In argument, you make claim, fine. You have an audience. Your audience may disagree with your claim. And they may make counter claim. These counter claims are known as objections to your argument. And you should answer them. So Holt is imagining that those people who don't agree with me might say these things, and he's responding. Move ahead. How does he say? If kids did not have to go to school, they would all be out in the street. No, they would not be out in the street. Now this is objection. He's answering, no. In the first place, even if schools stayed just the way they are, children would spend at least some time there in the street, because that's where they would be likely to find friends. Look, when Holt was writing this line, we didn't have mobile phone. Look at me. When I was in school days, what I would do, I would come from school, I'll throw my bag, and I won't even take breakfast, nothing, and I will run outside the village where 30, 40 young kids like me will be gathered and would play hide and seek for 1 hour. Our parents had to drag us inside the house. Today, our parents have to push out of the house. You don't like to leave the house because your big God is there, right? What is that? What is that God? Smartphone. Right? See, the street is a natural meeting place. And do you realize, today we rarely meet our friends in person. If we miss, we give missed call. Either we talk on the audio call or video call. Raise your hand if in the last 7 days you walked 15 minutes to visit a friend's house. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Out of around 20 people, 4 people. Fine. In the second place, schools would not stay the way they are. They would get better. When? If children stop going to school, they will change. They have to change. Because we would have to start making them what they ought to be right now. Now, look, what should a school be like? A school should be a place where children would want to be. See this word, want to be. I remember One incident. My brother was 14 years younger than me. So when I was in grade 12, my brother was in nursery class. So my job was to take my brother to school every day morning when I went to college. I was in college, he was in school. One day, my brother all of a sudden he began to cry. He said, no, I won't go to school. Then he was just a kid. I carried him in my lap and walked 25 minutes to his school and placed him inside. He would jump like a fish out of water, but not be ready to be in the school. I was wondering what happened. Why is not willing to be in the school? But then what I found, I found that he told me later on at home to me. He said, Dai, this is what happens in my school. And he told that in the school, his school does is, the school will make the kid step here, facing the back to the window bar, and keep the hands behind, and his hands will be tied to the window bar, iron bar. And for 2 hours, he will be sitting on the windowsill. This was the punishment he was given a day before. The next day, he said, no, I won't go to school. But the teachers didn't tell me about the punishment. The school didn't tell me about the punishment. Nobody told me about the punishment. He told me why he doesn't like going to school. Then I realized that, look, he doesn't want to go to school. Why? Because the school is prison house. The school is a torture house. Right? In the third place, those children who did not want to go to school could find, particularly if we stirred up our brains and gave them a little help, other things to do. The things many children now do during their summer and holiday. You have summer camp, you have holiday camp. So his point is, if students don't go to school, they might do other creative things. James Watt left his school after class 3. His auntie would force him to go to school. He wouldn't go. And what did he do? He would sit in his auntie's tea shop and he would watch the tea kettle boiling. And one day he saw that the lid is being pushed over by the steam. He put a coal piece and he saw that it is lifting. And James Watt started asking a question, what is lifting this lid? And he invented the first steam engine. The inventor of first steam engine, James Watt, did not study beyond class 3. And today, engineering students study his theory of steam engine. Here is a proof. You don't have to go to school to learn. You can learn even staying outside school. There is something easier we could do. We need to get, so first in paragraph 8, 9, he talked about removing attendance, right? Argument. Now, next. We need to get kids out of the school. Look here. Get kids out of the school. Take them in the real world. Buildings. Give them a chance to learn about the world. Take them to places at first hand. It is a very recent idea and crazy one that the way to teach our young people about the world they live in is take them out of it and shut them up in